Hello everybody, how are you doing? Welcome back to Man City Unplugged, your very own Man City fan channel. It's the final day. It's the it's the final day of a season that probably none of us want to remember, but we will remember. We will remember because of the guy I mentioned in the thumbnail. It's his last dance. It's his last. I know he's not starting, but it's his last game for the club. It's the last time for us to see him deliver those pinpoint crosses, deliver those fantastic long shots. It's the last time for us to see the lion roar. It's the last time for us to see King Kevin glide across the pitch. He is the unheralded king of the empire he has created here. Literally, he is the one who's created the empire here, along with Pep Guardiola. You're not winning that Madrid match when you're 1-0 down at the Bernabeu without the kind of strike Kevin De Bruyne had. You might people complain he has not scored in the big games in the finals and all of that stuff. Bayaji is here. Hey Bayaji, how you doing? He says finally the season comes to an end. Bayaji, the irony is it's a season that we all want to forget, but we will never forget this season because this will be the season uh, when Kevin De Bruyne left our club, when Kevin De Bruyne with all his memories. I mean, I still can't think it's been what 10 years that is joined us. It's been 10 incredible years with his journey with us. I mean, that his journey began with us. It's already been 8 years, 9 years. When 2017, I still remember. I think it was it against Stoke City? I think it was against Stoke City when Kevin De Bruyne delivered a ball that cut through eight players and Leroy Sané just hits it into the net. I mean, how time flies by, how time flies by. But anyway, it's King Kevin's last dance. I know his is not started, but I'm sure I'm sure he'll come in the hour mark and so. Still, we are fighting for the Champions League spot. To be honest, we need one more point. We need one more point. We need one more point to. We need one more point to secure this. JSK is here. Hey Mohan. Hey JSK, how are you doing, mate? Up for the final day of the season. Season, like YG mentioned, has been long and has been brutal. Baiji says when Pep writes his will, Akanji and Bernardo will be the legal heirs to his wealth. Bayaji Gundogan, what do you say about Gundogan? I think Bernardo sure is the legal heir to the wealth. But Gundogan as well, I think Gundogan as well will be the legal heir to his wealth for sure. Don't know what Kushano has done. He's on the bench and Akanji starting every bloody game. JSK says Florian words to Liverpool. I'm very surprised. We'll talk about that. JSK, a lot have happened to the week, to be honest. A lot have really happened to the week. I always thought we are pulling out, which means Bayern Munich, German player. Bayern, he's gonna go to Bayern Munich, but apparently that's not the case. He's chosen Liverpool. I mean, I don't want the last day nervy vibes with this game. Erling Haaland on, Erling Haaland on. Haaland should have shot it from outside. Left foot, he should have taken that shot from outside the box. He should have actually taken that shot from outside the box. It seems that Florian Wirtz was more interested in the style of play that Liverpool has promised him. It seems that Liverpool have promised him a false nine position. That's what the reports are. He is going to play in a false nine position with Liverpool. So that's interesting. I don't think City could have guaranteed him a false nine position. Bayaji says Akanji gets fit and straight away in the starting lineup. Bayaji, Bernardo Silva is not even fit and he still gets into the starting lineup. Matthews Nunes helps you score the goal against Villa and he gets removed from the lineup. Don't know what is going on with Pep Guardiola. Gautam is here. He says, "Hey there, citizens. Hey Gautam, how you doing?" Baiji says Pep didn't go to meet Words camp. I mean, Florian Words came to Manchester, so I assume Baiji that Pep Guardiola did talk to Florian Words because he's been a signing that we have been mentioning for at least the last 1 year, if not more than that. So he's been a signing that City have had an eye on. So when he's visited Manchester, they've shown him at the Etihad around. Pep has spoken to him, I think, though now it will not come out. But Pep has spoken to him. It's more based on the style, I think. Words thinks Liverpool style will. What a cross that is by Jeremy Doku's. Sad that no one's there to attack it. What a cross that is by Jeremy Doku. And again, this is interesting. Doku is playing off the left and Marmoush is playing off the right. I get pissed off when I see this. I mean, I think it's a bit different. I think he's playing a 4-4-2 kind of a thing. Yes, he's playing a 4-4-2 kind of a thing with Marmoush and Haaland as the two strikers up top. So this is a different system today that he's playing. Like Gautam says, word suits more in counter-attacking style. Tiki-taka is not his game, to be honest. I completely agree. I think that is the major reasons why he's gone for Liverpool. I think he loves the transitions. You know what the speaking is? Words will play as a false nine, which means words will drop in. And Mo Salah, Cody Gakpo, Luis Diaz, if he's there, they will make runs of him. That is what they're saying. I think Gautam is spot on here. I think transitions is Florian Wirtz. I know he's good in tight spaces and all of that, but he's he's good in tight spaces. He's not elite in tight spaces. Good in tight spaces. That's it. But he's lethal in transitions. Transitions is his game. Jeremy Doku, that's a foul for City. It's a free kick. I hope Omar Marmoush takes it. He stuck it from further back against Bournemouth, so I hope Omar Marmoush takes it. Bayaji says looks like Pep doesn't rate words. He rates him, Bayaji. He rates him. I just think that it's. I mean, the club. I'll be brutally honest here. The club. I mean, we might not like it. I didn't like it when I read between the lines. I know that you guys won't like it, but I'll have to tell the truth here. The truth here is Florian Wirtz didn't want to come to us. Florian Wirtz wanted to go to Liverpool. It's almost for the same reason that Fred didn't want to come to us. Jorginho didn't want to come to us. They didn't see the project. It's for the same, like maybe brutal here. It's for the same reason that Kaká didn't want to come to us. But this is the beauty of this club, where player like Kaká rejected us, another player like a Yaya Toure, another player like a David Silva, another player like a Sergio Aguero. They saw the beauty in our project. So yes, Florian Wirtz rejected us, and for the PR move, the club will actually tell that the contract is more, the money is more. That is bullshit. I will not believe. I'll be brutally honest here. I will not believe that the money is more and all of that. The thing is, Florian Wirtz doesn't believe in a project, and I think right now we as fans need to go back a little bit into the history and see. Yes, Kaká didn't believe in us. There were many players in the past who didn't believe in us, but Vera Kaká didn't believe, Yaya Toure believed, and David Silva believed, and Vincent Kompany believed, and you know what happened. You know what happened there. So yes, Florian Wirtz doesn't trust the project. That is fine. Let us see. Let us see what else we can do and who we can get. Jeremy Doku with the ball. The club tried everything they can to sign Words, but he didn't see the beauty in a project, and that is the truth. Why Jesus don't give Pep any more money? Just ask him to make better use of academy. They won PL to fourth time in a row, and the player of the match is Sam Sanpose as well, and he looked very good. He almost pocketed Guy Corres there in the Sporting Lisbon game. Jeremy Doku. Erling Haaland with a great run. Good defending there in the corner for City. Gautam says words to Liverpool will be really scary. After winning the league, getting four signings done will be a big statement that they are not done. But Gautam, I think it's see if Liverpool had a Trent Alexander-Arnold and they added Florian Wirtz, then I would be actually worried. You see what City have done actually. We 2017-18 we won the trophy with the Centurion season, and then we added people like Bernardo Silva and all of those players, which strengthened us with no significant departures. Jeremy Doku, can he strike it? Bernardo Silva cross into the box to Jeremy Doku. It's to Leno. So here I think Trent Alexander-Arnold is gone and they've got in Florian Wirtz. I think it doesn't make them any stronger necessarily. Do I think Florian Wirtz is more creative than Trent Alexander-Arnold? Do I think Florian Wirtz crossing is better than Trent? No. Create the balls he threats, are they better than Trent? Probably on the same level, but I don't think Liverpool has added to their this thing. And Luis Diaz is gonna go. Those are the rumors. Trent has already gone. Robertson is on a decline. So I think Liverpool are just replacing player for player. I think. The best teams when you look at those scary United squads, those scary Chelsea squads, and all when they were winning title after title, even the Real Madrid squads, they added to what they had. That's the thing. They added to what they had, and not you know departures and this. So for me, yeah, but Trent has gone. That is my answer to Liverpool have become scary to be honest. By Jesus, two football directors at the club and can't even make their minds on full bet targets. It seems they want. It seems one of the director wants Ashraf Hakimi and the other director wants Tino Livramento. These football directors are spoiled for riches. Our football directors are spoiled for riches. What two targets to set your eyes on when you know both are not sellable? Gautam says Livramento is the target and we already know we can't get him. And the scary thing is he plays both on the left and the right. So Newcastle will definitely not sell. And it seems the top target is Ashraf Hakimi. They see him as the top target, and then Livramento, and you actually know you can't get both of them unless you buy PSG, unless you buy the entire club. It doesn't make sense. I think that's a goal kick. So Bajis's first release Poro, Frimpong, and now chasing after near impossible Livramento. I actually think Bayaji, like Pedro Poro, when we were offered Pedro Poro, we had the first refusal on him from Sporting, if I'm not wrong. He played for Sporting. So when Pedro Poro was coming to us 2 seasons ago, Kyle Walker was in his prime. Kyle Walker's decline started last season, I think, in the half of last season and this season. So you had Kyle Walker in top form. So when Frimpong as well, I think you had Kyle Walker in top form. So I don't think Frimpong will actually suit us because Frimpong is defensively liable. I do not think you can win a Champions League, for example, with a Frimpong. Unless your midfielders play a certain way. Like for example, you see Liverpool's midfield. I think now it's McAllister, Sabozlai, and they'll put by Gravenberg. So three defensive midfielders. I think that is what you need for a Jeremy Frimpong to work, which surely we are not. So I don't think Frimpong was a mess. I don't think Pedro Porro was a mess because then we had Walker and Porro will not just swarm the bench for 2 years, right? Livramento is wonderful from Josko Guardiol. Wonderful from Josko Guardiol. Haaland just doesn't get to the end of that one. So I think the fullback is a tricky one. I think those are the tricky ones. Those are the tricky ones to be honest. Because when people say Cole Palmer, people say Cole Palmer, and I'm like, 2 years ago, you see what our midfield was. KDB, Gundogan, and Rodri in their absolute bloody prime, the best midfield in world football. 2 3 seasons ago when Palmer left us. I think it was 2 seasons ago. Yes. So where and Palmer was already waiting for 2 3 seasons. Palmer doesn't fit in on the right. Not a Mahrez replacement. So I think I think that is sometimes the downside of having superstar players in a club or having a group grow together to be the absolute best in the world. It's not always easy to find replacements. Gautam says City never got big names. We make them big. Haaland was also not a big name. Yeah, he was a good striker in Bundesliga, but we made him the best striker in the world. That's it. That's the spirit of City, Gautam. To be honest, I mean, you take Bernardo Silva. Yeah, Bernardo Silva was good at Monaco, but look at what we have made Bernardo Silva, one of the absolute best in the world. Not this season, but before this season, Bernardo Silva was the absolute, goat in terms of pressing. The match he played against Madrid, he was one of the best in the world. Gundogan at Dortmund was a bit above average, but Gundogan at City, those 2 3 seasons before he went to Barca, he was the best box to box midfielder in the world. Goals, runs, pressing, everything. Look at Rodri. Rodri was not the best at Atletico Madrid. So you're right, Gautam. We buy those sort of players and we make them absolute best. What a ball that is. I think Marmoush on the left is not working here, to be honest. That's a foul in favor of City. JSK says, I'm not worried about words in Liverpool under slot. I would be more worried if it was Jurgen Klopp or Xabi Alonso, especially Jurgen Klopp. I think, especially Jurgen Klopp. With Xabi Alonso again, it's the system. I think 3-5-2. It's the system. I mean, again with words, you do not know. Yes, he worked in a 3-5-2 system, back three. Especially when a back three and two wing backs are there, it means your defensive duties are very less. Your pressing duties are very less. So I think transition into a back four system, your tracking duties and everything will be much more. So it's going to be interesting how words transitions into that Liverpool system. Bernardo Silva. And again, Liverpool fans are just taking Mo Salah's form for granted, and I think they almost forget that they need to find that replacement for Mo Salah as well, which is not easy. Like we're struggling with Kevin De Bruyne because Mo Salah could just the decline could just be rampant. It could be in a season, so you just never know. Jeremy Doku running. Gautam says recent news about Rodrigo has really lifted up the mood. Again with Rodrigo, Gautam, it's interesting. I want Rodrigo at City, but Rodrigo it seems is leaving Madrid because he wants to play on the left wing, whereas they are playing him on the right wing. I mean, do can Rodrigo play on the left for us? Because I think left is the preference of Doku, left is the preference of Marmoush, left is the preference of yes, Doku and Marmoush. So I mean, now three players will compete for the left spot. So it's going to be interesting, especially James Maxon is here. Hey, James, how are you doing? He says, where are you watching the game? On the Geo Plus Hotstar app. If you're not from India, you'll not know that. I don't think it works in Europe. Gautam says we're getting 10 days of extra transfer window and we have to be busy. The fullbacks thing, Gautam, I don't know, it's eerily quiet, the fullbacks thing. The right back is an absolute priority for us. Right back is an absolute priority for us. Fulham are breaking, Fulham are on the counter attack. Oscar Bob will be very interesting, I think, and also I think one concern about around Florian Words is I don't know what you guys think, but one concern around Florian Words is if Words comes in, then what happens to Foden? What happens to Oscar Bob? The crosses are deep and shit. I mean, what happens to Foden and Oscar Bob is the big question. So we actually don't know about that. What happens to Phil Foden and Oscar Bob? If Words would have come in because Words would have asked for that central role, obviously asked for that central role. So what will happen to Foden? That's the big question there. I don't know. It could be a blessing in disguise, guys, that we are not getting words because you see the history of this club. We wanted Harry. You see the history of this club. We wanted Harry Maguire, and we ended up with we ended up with Ruben Diaz. I think if I'm not wrong, we wanted Fred. Then we wanted Jorginho, and we ended up with a third choice target. Can you remember? Can you imagine a third choice target becoming the best CDM in the world? Can you imagine a second choice target in Ruben Diaz becoming one of the best centre backs in Premier League? I mean, whenever a transfer has to, I mean, Alexis Sanchez was another this thing, to be honest. He just escaped that thing. So I think whenever a transfer fails for this club, especially when we have tried through and through, then I think we just have to accept it could be a blessing in disguise. Bayaji says Kushanov not even on the bench. Did you see that press conference, Bayaji, when Pep was telling that when Pep was actually telling that he needs a smaller squad size because he feels unhappy leaving everyone on the bench. I think when McAtee is not there, so I think the squad is just too much bloated. I think, to be honest. Gautam says Marmoush is playing it exactly. Gautam, Marmoush is playing it right. It's just to accommodate Doku. It's not suiting anyone, to be honest. Marmoush is playing it right. Just check the scores of all the teams. Interesting. Crystal Palace are leading Liverpool 1-0. Interesting. Crystal Palace are leading Liverpool 1-0. Spurs are leading Brighton. It's a penalty. Dominic Solanke scored that penalty. By Jesus, Forest, Bournemouth, Palace, and Fulham have won more away points than City this season. It's a surprise, by it's a surprise that how we are able to end up in the champion, end up third. To be honest, in a way, if Southampton beat Arsenal and we win this game by big margin, you could end up second. In City's shittiest season in the decade, you have a slight possibility on the final day of ending up second. And City score! Omar Ikai Gundogan scores! Woo! Ikai Gundogan scores! Woo! Ikai Gundogan scores! It's Gundo with a straight mark goal! What a goal by Gundogan! Seriously, he's hurt Tejani Reinders is packing up his bags and is telling, "This is Ikai Gundogan, I'm here." Wow, what a goal that is by Gundogan! Wow, fantastic! Fantastic goal by Gundogan there. Wow. Who gave the ball? That's my question. Who gave the ball? Matthews Nunez, I think. Matthews Nunez with the assist. Matthews Nunez with the assist, I think. Yes, it's Matthews Nunez with the assist. And what a goal! Fantastic. That technique is just outstanding. Yes, there was a slight deflection, but Nunez with the cross. And wow, what a technique that is from Gundogan. Fantastic Gundo. Wow. What a technique that is from Gundogan. What a technique that is from Gundogan, to be honest. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Wow. Gautam says, what a goal, Gundo gave me those Everton vibes. I mean, that was just outstanding. A few of Arsenal fans and oh, he's checking a possible offside. My God, he's checking a possible offside. Yes, it's a goal. Come on. Brentford have scored against Wolves. And Mbumo scores, and what a goal. That is exactly what a goal. By just says 2 games to goal of the season contenders. Goal given. What a goal. That is what a goal. I was literally shocked that they were checking it for offside because there was no offside in that. I don't know what they were checking. It's an absolute joke. But I think the Marmoush, both are hard. Both are hard. I don't know what you guys feel, but I think the Marmoush, I think the Gundogan one is Fulham on the counter attack. I think the Gundogan one is harder because he has to adjust his technique and do a lot of that stuff. This is wonderful defending. Excellent defending from City. JS says, by the way, this year 3 legends of 3 clubs are left: De Bruyne, Modric, and Muller. And there was that photo, JS, where you see Luka Modric sitting on a podium with all of his trophies, and the trophies literally needed a step to arrange all of those trophies. Someone's telling trophies that Modric has, some of them are kept on the step. Their height is such that Modric has to wear heels to reach their height. He has so many trophies. Omar Marmoush, that's fantastic run from Omar Marmoush. Can you put a cross in? Matthews Nunes. Nunes with a weak shot. To be honest, on a stronger foot, I'm disappointed. Why this is Forest, Bournemouth, Palace, and we have done that. JSK says, by the way, only choice of right back is Cambia. So no JSK. Apparently, Nicolo Savannah is the first choice right now. Apart, I'm talking about the gettable choices, not Hakimi and Livramento. So Nicolo Savannah, it seems, is the first choice right now of Juventus as well. So that is interesting. That the fullback chase will be very interesting because apparently they want a left back as well. Yes, because Oscar Bob is always injured. He is. People are saying Florian words, but there were the times I used to write a blog and stuff. I think 1 2 years ago, and I remember I've written an article regarding the master of tight spaces, something like that regarding Oscar Bob. He was still in the academy there. It's Fulham's chance. That's a great block. Ruben Diaz is the king of blocks. Absolute king of blocks, Ruben Diaz. So for me, if you ask who is the best player in tight spaces in world football, in European football, because again I don't want to bring Messi and all that into the conversation. In European football right now, in Europe's top 5 leagues, who is the best in tight spaces? I think Oscar Bob will be in the top 2, and Florian Wirtz won't even make my top 2, top 3. Oscar Bob is so good in tight spaces, guys. He is so good in tight spaces. His way of dribbling, his way of movement, it's so unique. Florian Wirtz doesn't come close to the mastery of Oscar Bob in tight spaces. Oscar Bob is very good. So I think in Florian Wirtz rejecting us, he could have done us a favor. We could give Oscar Bob more chances to play. Just now, no. Gautam says, to be honest, whenever a team pays too much on one player, irrespective of the stature of the player, he has always underperformed. Exactly, Gautam, exactly. The examples, exactly. Neymar, PSG, that deal, Hazard, Madrid, Coutinho, Barca, Grealish, City. I think Neymar, PSG, Hazard, Madrid, and Coutinho, Barca have absolutely bombed. Grealish City, it's exactly not bombed. I think if he had played £100 million for Grealish, I think he's at least 60 million pounds is proven worth, and another 40 million pounds might go in waste, because we have to remember that season Grealish was absolutely supreme in those tight spaces, Champions League games that season. He was very, very good on that left hand side for us. So Grealish at least was not as bad as all of these above transfers, to be honest. And you also forgotten another transfer, Gautam. It's Anthony to Manchester United, the legendary transfer of all time. Anthony to Manchester United. Jeremy Doku, Omar Marmoush, uh, and it's a corner for City. Why this is if Forest doesn't make CL, we get Morgan Gibbs White cheaper. I think so. I think so. I think so. We at least get him 20 million pounds cheaper. I think, if not more. They're asking for around 100, I think, and we get him around 70, I think, if they don't get Champions League football for sure. And I actually don't think they get Champions League football by I don't think they get Champions League football, because I think Aston Villa is the only other side who are in contention. See, Liverpool and Arsenal are nailed on to be top two. Three spots left, and for the three spots there is City, Newcastle, Chelsea, Villa. I think four teams for three spots. I do not think Nottingham Forest doesn't have a chance. Forest doesn't have a chance, I think. What a ball that is, Jeremy Doku. Gotham says Nunez can play 80 minutes like a world class fullback and then make one of the most silliest mistakes a player can do and cause the match. He just needs to avoid those bozo moments. You remember, Gotham, it was the same with Kyle Walker when he initially came to us. It was exactly the same with Kyle Walker, and then after a season or two with Pep, he ironed out the mistakes and he became world class. And and he actually become world class to a level that you saw towards his end, like at least last 2 3 seasons back. He was like making no mistake. He was extremely focused. I think Nunez has that potential. Just that Pep needs to trust in him more. And Nunez crossing is underrated. I think Nunez crossing is very, very good, to be honest. I think if this is counted as an assist, I think Matthews Nunez has somewhat 6 or 7 assists this season already. By this says yes, Nunez and sometimes Guardiola also don't have error-free game yet. I think with Nunez, with Guardiola, it's more of a, you have these people full of talent, and they say, okay, even if the situation goes out of hand, I have the skill to control it. With Guardiola, it's almost, it takes it too easy sometimes. I think, but with Matthews Nunez, I genuinely think that there are certain moments where his head just goes. That was close. That was close. I think Adama Traore was in there. My God, we need to score one more goal to close this, guys. I don't want to. I don't want my nerves jangling on this day. Why this is, if Foden had a normal season and Bob had a breakout, no one at City would care about Wirtz transfer. That's the thing. That's the thing. By just imagine if KDB left towards the end of last season, right? If KDB left towards the end of last season, where we just went out to Madrid on penalties, which can happen. It's a toss of a coin. We won the league. Foden was the player of the season and a standout season. Suppose last season Oscar Bob also broke through in bits and parts. I think last season no one would have even wanted Florian Wirtz transfer. And just imagine Alonso went last season in all of the same circumstances. I don't think anyone would have wanted Wirtz last season. I think the main thing is Foden's decline. In fact, if last season circumstances occurred this season and Foden was the player of the season and all that, we would be questioning the board. If you get towards what will happen to our Foden in his central role and all of that stuff. I think more than Oscar Bob, it's just Phil Foden's. I mean, Phil Foden in normal season this season would have easily helped us finish second. I don't know about competing for the league, but would have easily helped us finish second. Again, I don't know. Again, people might laugh at me a bit and all, but I think currently Foden's market value and Word's market value are not too much behind. Okay, because of this season, Foden might be 30, 20, 30 million pounds cheaper. If Words goes for 150, Foden's around 100, 110 million pounds because of what's happened this season and his lack of performance. Otherwise, in a normal market, it was the end of last season when Leverkusen won the league, City won the league. I think Phil Foden and Florian Wirtz, probably Foden is a bit more costlier than Wirtz. Why this is Pellegrini, the engineer one made Anthony great again. It wonderful by Jeremy Doku. I think it's a deflection to be honest. I just think biology engineers can do everything other than engineering. Looking at Manuel Pellegrini and what he's done in football. There was this meme: engineers are great at everything, all the other things except what they've actually learned going to school. Forest Chelsea is still nil-nil. That's a foul on a Fulham player. Marmos with the foul. But I just think, if are they asking for a red card? Is it a red card? I think it's a 50-50 ball. He's just pulled out of the challenge. Come on, there's nothing in there. There's absolutely nothing in there. Why this is thrashed like McTominay scored 11 goals in La Liga. I mean, McTominay is strangely the midfielder of the season in Serie A. Player of the season in the Serie A or something like that. He's been so good there. The pace of the pace of Adama Traore is just killing us. To be honest, we are not able to deal with the pace of Adama Traore. I thought that went in for a moment. Wow, we are holding on, guys. We are holding on. No one's able to deal with the pace of Adama Traore here. Wow, you're getting skinned. Where is Kushanov? I think Kushanov is the only one who has the pace to match Adama Traore here. I think we need to get more than a goal to be honest, to be safe here. Exactly, Syria, Syria. Uh, but again, I think that entire system was built around McTominay, right? If I'm not wrong, I just saw that those tactics that everything was built around McTominay and Antonio Conte. They had played to the strengths of McTominay. And I was watching the Europa League final, United and Spurs. It was one of the worst finals I've watched because this absolutely there were no tactics. But you know what? United was struggling to bring down a low block, and Scott McTominay exactly was the one they needed. Someone making runs late on from the deep and all of that stuff. They sold him. Bayaji says Fulham getting too much freedom around the box. So they're terrified of Adama Traore, Bayaji. They're absolutely terrified of Adama Traore. So they're backing back, and we need to get a second goal just to be comfortable here. We need to get a second goal here just to be comfortable. Everything's nil-nil to be honest. Palace won, Liverpool nil at home. Let's get one more goal and then watch Kevin De Bruyne's farewell in peace. Interestingly, Villa United is also nil-nil. It's a foul in City's favor. But again, if there's one player you would say that City should sign this season, and then we don't sign anyone, I think it needs to be Tejani Reinders. I think Reinders, just like Rodri has the potential. Rodri has won Ballon d'Or, but Reinders could win the Ballon d'Or as well. He's so good. Just imagine that midfield of Rodri, Reinders, and probably a Morgan Gibbs White. The physicality in there would just be insane. I think Rodri and Reinders would give Phil Foden to, if he plays centrally, to do whatever the heck he wants. Omar Marmos. Gotham says Milan fans have warned the board to not sell Morgan, Tijani Reinders. But Milan will be forced to sell. What a dribble there. Ah! Was it of Haaland's head or was it Joachim Anderson defending? I don't know. I'll have to see it back. Was it of Haaland's head or was it Joachim Anderson defending? It's Anderson defending for a corner. Again, look at Omar Marmoush. He's just brilliant. What a signing he's been. Uh, just not able to get to Erling Haaland. Can we shoot from distance? Erling Haaland. Ah, if I'm not wrong, Sandro Tonali as well is from AC Milan, and the fans have wanted him on the board the same way, and they sold it. But Adama Traore is on his bike here. Akanji does absolutely well. One thing I can't doubt is Manuel Akanji's pace is just so underrated. I know you can't match Adama Traore, but Jeremy Doku in there. Jeremy Doku, wow! What a run this is from Jeremy Doku. Marmoush has to score. Ah, how did we score there, guys? How did we score there? Nico Gonzalez. Look at Jeremy Doku. That is Jeremy Doku. It is absolute devastating best. Nico Gonzalez shot was just too central. Nico Gonzalez shot was just too central. Probably little bit here and there, and we score. We need to. That goes in. We can actually watch the match calmly with no pressure. JSK says, please no Morgan Gibbs White. By this says, bring Khaldun into the studio. I want to ask him Kushanov and Reese. Winter signings not even on the bench. Clowns at the helm. um, that was the thing by Ajit. Pep actually, he wasn't in tears, but he was very angry about that. He was telling, I at least have to leave 4 or 5 players out at home every match day because my squad is too big. He was telling, I cannot train more than 17 to 18 players. I think right now we have around 25 players. We count everyone in our squad plus who's not there right now. I think the number's around 25. I think there are going to be a lot of outgoings as well. JSK says better trust Echeverry or Morgan Gibbsworth. JSK, I saw your previous comment as well. Please no Morgan Gibbsworth. I'll be talking about it in a bit. Just was the end of this half because there's some important points I want to tell about Morgan Gibbs, right? Having seen him a bit more closely in the sense in the last few days I've gone through his heat maps a bit, and all of those things, and it's very interesting what I've understood about why we actually want him. Because earlier on I thought, what sort of a thrash signing is this? But I think there are reasons why you would want Morgan Gibbs White. Adama Traore on the ball, and Adama Traore on the bike. Look at Adama Traore go. Wow. Please let this not be a goal. It's side netting. It's side netting. It's side netting, guys. It's side netting. We are living on the absolute edge. We are living on the absolute edge. Look at this. Look at Adama Traore bloody go on his bike. Buy him for right back. Buy Adama Traore for right back. Harry Wilson is just tearing us apart. Good save from Edison, to be honest. Harry Wilson is tearing us apart. Gautam says Morgan Gibbs White will be bought to bring Foden back in form. His relationship is very good. His relationship with Rodri is also very good. Just imagine that midfield of Rodri, Reinders, and Morgan Gibbs White. That has the potential to be a UFC fighting hub. All the three of them are physically strong. Nico, this is wonderful from Nico Gonzalez. He has to play Doku in here. He's played Doku in here. Ken Doku put a cross in. Ken Doku put a cross in. Wonderful from Nico Gonzalez. Ah, for a moment I thought Doku had a chance there. YG says, Gautam says Marmos has not yet scored in away matches. Anyway, our record is actually poor in away matches. YG says, poor Doku, when he actually puts in a good cross, the one thing where it was needed, they didn't fuck it up. Matthews Nunez. But that ball was just superb from Jeremy Doku, right? Can we score before then? What a ball that is. What a wonderful ball that is. Was it from Nico Gonzalez? Ah, the Morgan Gibbs White thing is actually interesting. Plus 1 minute of added time. Jeremy Doku, Josko Guardiol. I think they'll just split around. Let's check the scores. Palace is leading Liverpool 1-0. West Ham scored. Tape switch. Gerard Bowen with the assist. I'm actually happy with it because I have Gerard Bowen in my fantasy team. I think Arsenal scored against Southampton, Kieran Tierney and Ben White. And then Brentford scores against Wolves. I think that's it. No other goals. And that's half time. That's half time. That's half time. And it's almost half time. I think Leno with the goal kick, and then it will be half time. The camera also zoomed in very quickly onto Pep, and that's half time. I would have literally wanted a second goal just to go in and enjoy the second half, but it's still on the edge. It's still on the edge. Second goal would mean that we needed to concede twice, thrice to be honest, because a draw will do it for us, remember, but I think Adama Traore looked dangerous. It was an elegant half. It was a half it was a half, guys, that strangely showed the strengths of City as well as the weaknesses of City. The strengths of City were the passing. Nico Gonzalez was fantastic. You almost got a few shades of a functional midfield in there with Nico Gonzalez, Gundogan turning back the clock with the goal. Creativity coming from the wings, absolutely no creativity from the center. The midfield is almost like a Liverpool type of midfield, with Wijnaldum, Henderson, and all they had, right? It was almost similar to that. No creativity at all from the midfield, but Gundogan with a fantastic goal. Gundogan with an absolutely very good goal. West Ham scores, Arsenal scores, Spurs is leading Brighton. Interestingly, Forest and Chelsea still nil-nil. The interesting thing is Aston Villa is down to 10 men. Wow. And the goalkeeper Emi Martinez has gotten a red card on his final game. Wow, guys, wow. Emi Martinez gets a red card in his final game. This is interesting. I think still, I mean, still the Champions League's spot and all are not secured, so the pressure is on us in the second half as well. We just can't take it for granted anyway. JSK says, by the way, what about UEL? I'm happy Sons finally won a trophy. JSK, especially for City fans, that is almost like a double party because because you see Manchester United not win a trophy, and also Spurs winning the trophy is pissing off Arsenal fans. Now Arsenal fans are telling we cannot win a competition we are not in. Well, bloody hell, you were in this competition 2 seasons ago consecutively. What did you do? You have never won a European trophy in your history. You played the Europa League, you played the Champions League. Conference League is right now, so I'll not talk about it. It was not there in the past. So you played in all those competitions. Arsenal fans are talking as if they are Real Madrid and they have never in their history played the Europa League. They're talking as if they are some Arsenal fans are talking as if they are some privileged idiots, privileged brats. I mean, I'm so happy that it's pissed off Arsenal fans more than United fans. That United lost it against Spurs. And and you know how it comes back to City, guys. You know, JSK says I don't know about United, Arsenal, and Arsenal. I'm also happy for Son, but JSK, the important thing is last season, if Son would not have missed that goal against us. Just imagine if Son would not have missed that goal against us, where if you remember, Akanji slept, Son goes one on one, Ortega saves it. Imagine in a parallel universe, if Son scores that goal, Spurs go into the Champions League. They, of course, cannot win the Champions League, and this season there's no dropping into the Europa League, right? They would have ended this season without a trophy on 17th or something. And Arsenal fans would have been celebrating their first Premier League trophy in 20 years or whatever, and Arteta would be, feeling more privileged, and he would have his ass up in his hands. Now you cut back to it. Son missing that goal meant City won the title. Spurs fans were happy. City fans were happy, and it meant Spurs went into the Europa League because of Son missing that, and Spurs won a trophy, a European Cup. So now Spurs fans are again happy. Wow! Just one moment from Son. Look at it, how the fate of so many people have hanged there. And Ange would have been sacked by now. If Son did not miss that goal, Ange would have been sacked by now because they are in no way winning the Champions League. Spurs. I mean, just look at how destiny is. Because I remember when Son missed that goal against Ortega, those prats on AFTV and all, they were telling it was almost they had the powers of curse and all. They were telling Spurs will never win a trophy in our lifetime because of this attitude and all of that. But in a way, it happened for everyone's good. Now here the biggest jokers are Arsenal. Not even United, because United are anyway shit. The biggest jokers are Arsenal. A shitty United and Arsenal's best season in 20 years and United's worst season in their history, and Arsenal's sort of best season in 20 years finishes off with a similar trophy, this thing. Both have zero trophies. You don't get extra trophy for being second in the Premier League, right? Maybe they have maybe they have I beat Real Madrid and I beat City trophy. I don't know about that and stay humble trophy and all. But just see the fates of how it's gone. It's just fantastic how destiny is such a leveler. JSK says, I'm sure Son is the greatest Asian player in Premier League now. JSK's butterfly. Honestly, from the last two seasons, I think it's Arsenal who have come back in an absolute worst manner. They have actually been absolute worst. Coundinya is here. Hey Coundinya, how are you doing? He says, just for anyone interested, Klassen scored a century now. Oh, I'm actually I didn't even bother to watch that match because I'm actually very happy regarding the IPL because it was 4 days ago. It was just a bit off topic, but I'll come back to Morgan Gibbs White in a while. Just 4 days ago, it was impossible. You all know it's about MI. So it was 4 days ago. It seemed impossible that MI could finish in the top two. A lot should have happened, but a lot has happened. SRH defeated RCB, GT, which I thought was impossible. They lost twice, once to LSG and once to today CSK. I mean, I thought CSK will be easy win, but it's just that their entire batting collapsed. And yesterday Delhi defeated Punjab Kings, and it's all in MI's hands now. Wow, wow. So I just didn't even bother watching SRH versus KKR, but today. But again, what a few days it's been in the IPL as well. Because we all thought actually, when I felt that it was a bit boring that all of the teams got the top four spots are over like a week remaining still in the IPL before playoffs. But the competition for playoffs, I do not think ever it was like this. I mean, in the sense, competition for top two spots. I think every time you kind of knew who were in the top two spots by the end. You're always fighting for the fourth and the third one, fourth one generally, but and the top two spots are important because I think there's some stat 95% of the times the team that I think every time the team finished in the top two has won the league except once for SRH. So it's interesting. And now JSK coming to Morgan Gibbs White. I mean, first when he was linked with City, I was like, why do you want this buffoon? I literally say the exact words. Why do you want this buffoon, Morgan Gibbs White? Not because he's had a fight with Rodri, but because I just thought he was another average player. That's all. Obviously, I didn't watch him as closely because he played for Wolves and then I think Forest as well last season, maybe last season or this season. But having watched him closely, a bit more closely for Forest because Forest has been doing well. They did well with us in the two Premier League games. I mean, the style that you want to play is what is the best style that suits Haaland. I mean, we are building our team around Haaland. De Bruyne has gone. See, there are two schools of thought. Everyone thought you build your team around Foden, which is obvious, or you build your team around Haaland. And every time the view of the fans and the club unanimously has been you build your team around Foden because everyone thought that Haaland will leave. Obvious, you see his career progression in Leave City, but the with what's happened to Foden this season and with Haaland signing that 9-year contract and all, I think we have now got confidence that you could build this team around Haaland. The strengths of Haaland. Now, what are the strengths of Haaland? Crosses into the box, long balls, pinpoint long balls, accurate long balls, outside of the foot crosses. Guys, you know I mean, leaving Kevin De Bruyne aside, who has been the best player this season with outside of the footballs? Morgan Gibbs White. I'm surprised. I just went on and saw a compilation of his outside of the footballs. He does it regularly. Like you wake up in the morning and drink water or brush your teeth. He gives outside of the footballs every match. Morgan Gibbs White's outside of the footballs, and it's very difficult to defend outside of the footballs because the way, the trajectory they move in, and all of those things, they curl in and move. So I think Morgan Gibbs White is absolutely the best at that. So Morgan Gibbs White exactly plays to the strengths of Haaland. He is not getting. I won't say is as good as words, but he can get there with dedication. I will not know if he can get there, but he has already those qualities. He is not at level 0 and he has to get to level 10. He's already at level 8. Level 8. If Florian Wirtz is at level 10, Gibbs White is already at level 8. Nothing yet. Under Pep, he can make that transition. He's shooting from outside the box. His not interceptions. His crossing is outside of the footballs. He's comfortable on both foot. Morgan Gibbs White, I think he is one of the most underrated playmakers out there. Playmaker slash eight, and he's one of those very rare people who can play eight and who can play a 10 as well. And he can play false nine as well, though we might not need that because of Haaland and Marmoush. But I think Gibbs White is one of those rare players who can play as a playmaker and he can play eight as well. Tell me another player who can do both of them. I don't see anyone else. Gautam says Joan Garcia to Barca, really good goalkeeper. Not heard of him, Gautam, but I'll definitely check it out. JSK says is an average player. Baiji says good thing is Morgan Gibbs White is a Premier League proven, but bad thing is he plays in a complete opposite system to City. But Baiji but Baiji, I think he play. I know he plays in a transition based system, but just imagine City's system and how much devastating he can be with his qualities here. So I think if we can look at those qualities that he's having, and can we just try and imagine what he would do in the City system? Fantastic, because now what's happening is we are getting the ball from the opposition, and what's the immediate thing happening? Our CDM is getting the ball, recycle back, goes to Nunez or goes to Guardiola, Kenji, Diaz, Ederson, and then you reset, and then opponent is reset, and that's it. But with Morgan Gibbs White, you get the ball and he immediately puts in that long pass. His long pass is, I mean, again, leave Kevin De Bruyne and maybe Bruno Fernandes aside, but I don't think there is a rival right now, or maybe when Trent is put Trent and Kevin De Bruyne aside. Bruno I know is a hit and miss, but put Trent and Kevin De Bruyne aside. I think Morgan Gibbs White is, apart from those two, he is the best long range passer in Premier League. His long range, his short range passing is, still needs to be developed, but his long range passing is very very good. I think there was a game last week or the weekend before where he gives a long range pass from the wing, long pass, and it exactly falls on the foot of Chris Wood, and Chris Wood finishes. I think you guys have seen it. So I think his outside of De Bruyne and Trent, who are generational creators, I think his long range passing is the best in the Premier League at least. He's so good. Bailey says without a top creator will be wasting Haaland's best years. Without a top long range passer as well, Bailey. It's not just a top creator, but I would also say top long range passer. Gautam says words as the pressure of his price tag in every game he plays. He'll be scrutinized in every slump he has. Even if he has an average game, he'll be under the radar by everyone. This is an unforgiving league, and also Gautam. The other thing is this is a physical league. This is an absolutely physical league. I mean, we all know that Words is a generational talent and all and everything they say. But then you look at the German players, the German creators that have come into the Premier League. I remember Henrik Mkhitaryan. How many assists did Henrik Mkhitaryan have when he played for Dortmund in the Bundesliga? I think he had some record of assists, 22, 25 assists. That was a record for that season. What happened when he came into the Premier League? Kai Havertz was a generational talent in the Bundesliga. He was absolutely superb in the Bundesliga. And then what's happened when he's come to the Premier League? This is just talking about creators. Naby Keita was a big money signing for City and he was the next Yaya Tower. It didn't work out. Other players as well. Team Naby Keita, Timo Werner. There are a lot of players that have actually come from the Bundesliga and they've not worked out. City's case being the exception, like Gundogan, De Bruyne, and everyone. So nothing is guaranteed because I still remember that Henrik Mkhitaryan case. He was banging assists left, right, and center for Dortmund, and he just couldn't do anything for Manchester United. JSK says bring Fermin Lopez. Barca can sell him this season to buy a few more players. But JSK, what will happen to Phil Foden? What message does it send to Phil Foden that you're trusting a Barca academy graduate over him? And Phil Foden, it's not that he's had bad seasons of the last 10 years. Just last season, he's won you the Premier League on his own, player of the season. The season before, he's done all right. So Foden's having good seasons consistently. Over the last 6, 7 years, I think this is his bad. This is his most bad season. So I think that would send a bad message. What message would it send to people like Divine Musaka, for example? If I've got the name right. If Phil Foden's just replaced by another Barca academy graduate and the Barca graduate Fermin Lopez will go running back to Barca again after 2 years. You've seen what happens with those Spanish players in Eric Garcia. I think we trust in Phil Foden and Claudio Echeverri. Bayaji says yes, Fermin Lopez is a good shout. Gautam says there is news he's using Liverpool as a stepping stone for Madrid. There's also news, Gautam, that Florentino Perez has said he will get Florian Wirtz if Xabi Alonso doesn't win the Club World Cup. But Liverpool are already signing him, so I just don't know. But again, with Florian Wirtz, I'm telling you that if Bayern Munich doesn't get him now, in 2, 3 years, Bayern Munich will get him. Look what they did to Leroy Sané. They will simply not select him in the German national team. He will then come running back to Bayern Munich. And the problem for Liverpool is, for us, even if Leroy Sané was not the face of the team. We had De Bruyne, we had Aguero, we had David Silva, all of them. We had Company back then when Sané left us. But with Liverpool, imagine in 2, 3 years, Words leaves them, and in 2, 3 years' time, Salah will be gone, Van Dijk will be gone, Allison will be gone, maybe Alisson will be there, I don't know, but all of the important pieces of Liverpool will go, the big characters. So Liverpool are looking to build their team around Florian Wirtz. So that is the problem with Florian Wirtz, I think. Gautam says yes, physicality is something he lacks. Big time, which can make him suffer. Plus his injury records, I looked at his injuries. He has weak knees. Most of his injuries are near the knee areas. He had ACL 3 seasons back. I think he had some horrific 2, 3 knee surgeries. I think one is the ACL, or did he have two ACLs? I don't know, but he has had surgeries. I mean, again, it's with the Bundesliga talent, I don't know, it needs to be scouted very, very well, I think, because there have been a lot of examples, like I mentioned, Mkhitaryan, Naby Keita, Timo Werner, everyone. And now Sesko is coming on into Arsenal as well, so you just never know. JSK says club over any player. If you are City or replace, reason why Real Madrid is the greatest club in the world. But JSK, I think you give Foden that one more chance. To be honest, is our boy. His blue is a blue out and out. His suffered psychologically as well. It seems there are some issues this season. So with him personally as well. So I think we give him one more season just to be freshened up. Imagine a fresh Phil Foden just wrecking defenses apart next season. That would be insane. Baye's performer Paris, Foden will be on the borderline next season. That's the thing, Bayesh. I think Foden has enough credit in the bank to have one more season with us easily. And I think this season is almost not played at all, so he can be well rested. I don't know how much he'll use him in the Club World Cup, but he could be well rested and come roaring back. That's a cheap giveaway from us, and it's tense, but it's tense. Guys, it's tense unless we score the next goal. It's tense because remember, Champions League qualification, we still need a point. The only good thing is Aston Villa are down to 10 men with a red card to the goalkeeper, and the bad thing is they are down 10 men to the worst Manchester United side ever. And even if they were down to 9 men, I would still think maybe Villa could score. Gotham says Foden has said he has not been 100% this season. Ankle issues plus personal problems. I feel Rodri and Foden at their best are like generational. Doku should score. Ah, I mean, there'll almost be like two new signings, Gotham. You add to this squad Rodri and Foden. They'll just be and Tejani Reinders as well. You add, I mean that is almost like you're putting a new midfield. You're almost putting a new engine in a car. That's you're just getting a brand new engine next season because Rodri is coming back, Foden's coming back fresh, and then I think we'll be close to getting a new midfielder, and I hope it's Tejani Reinders. So I think we are getting a new engine back. It's just like we're having a new midfield, and our midfield is completely rested. Maybe except Tejani Reinders. Jeremy Doku with the ball. Jeremy Doku does absolutely well, but it goes out. Goes out. Left back is another interesting one, guys. Left back because JSK says Nico Barella is a great option too. Nico Barella is a great option, JSK, but my God, I mean, just watch Tejani Reinders once, JSK, and you'll just feel that he is prime Gundogan on steroids and more a prime Gundogan on steroids with more physicality and height. I think he's 6 feet 1 or 6 feet 2, if I'm not wrong. Is more he has all the attributes of a prime Gundogan and is more physical. It's a Gundogan on steroids. Gautam says the ship has already sailed. But again, Gautam, I think I would prefer Tejani Reinders on Nico Barella, to be honest. I think Reinders has that generational this thing. I don't know why, but he's just something else, Tejani Reinders, I think. Reinders, Rodri, and I mean, I want to see one match where Reinders, Rodri, and Nico Gonzalez play as a midfield three. There'll be no creativity, but I'll want to see who will get past them three. I think the goalkeeper's down. I think it's a head injury or something. Gautam says yes, Reinders is clear. I think he is the best box to box midfielder in world football right now. I think if he, I don't know this guys, but I think people are letting water flow a lot over the Reinders signing, and we are, I think, giving more importance to the word signing because I think I equate Reinders and word signings to be of the same level, not in terms of money, but in terms of the talent of the players. Reinders for me is a generational box to box midfielder. Liverpool fans or in general people say words is also in that. So the sign, though we might get Reinders for 70 million or so, but the talent there is exactly on the same level. So I think Reinders and Wirtz should be considered and equated at the same level. Adam says, I feel Liverpool, if they want a signing which can make the midfield unbeatable, sign Baleba. Gravenberg, Baleba, suppose like unreal strength. That would just be insane. But you know, Gotham, Brighton asked 110 million for Casido for Liverpool, I think, when Liverpool went. And all of that saga with Chelsea last season. So I think I think Brighton will ask for 150 for Baleba, and also I don't think Liverpool can sign both Words and Baleba in the same. season, to be honest. I don't think they have that sort of a thing. It's actually interesting. Ipswich and West Ham was 1-1. Chelsea score against Nottingham Forest. Wow. Chelsea score against Nottingham Forest, guys. Chelsea score against Nottingham Forest. Which means we have to. I know Villa is still there, but I think we have to win this game. I mean, we have to at least get a point here. We have, at least have to get a point here. Chelsea score against Nottingham Forest. I mean, this could really get tight. This could get absolutely tight. Keep an eye on that Villa United game because anything can happen here. We have to get the job done here, guys. One more goal. I think we need to score one more goal. Well done by Edison. Absolutely well done by Edison there, but this is getting proper tense. This is getting absolutely tense. Oh, this is interesting. West Ham scores 2. West Ham Ipswich is 2-1, but all of my eyes are on Jeremy Doku has to cut it back. I don't know what Doku is actually doing. Matheus Nunes rescues the ball. Can he put a cross in? Nunes. That's a corner for City. This is going to be proper tense, guys. This is going to be absolutely tense. I'm keeping all the eyes on that United Villa game. Bernardo Silva with the corner. This could just get so tense. It's a goal kick. That was a chance. That was a chance for us. Fulham get the ball again and they're on a counter attack now. Switch of play, and Adama Traore with the chance to cross. For God's sake, just don't concede a goal right now. Haaland on the counter attack there. Haaland, Marmos. Omar Marmos, can he play in Haaland? No, I think he will choose to recycle the ball, which is the best decision. Ah, interesting. Chelsea are 1-0 up. Newcastle is still drawing. Mr. Everton. Erling Haaland tries a long range shot. He has to pass it to Doku out wide. Bernardo does pass it to Doku out wide. Erling Haaland is just not able to get back into form. And it's a goal kick. Does he want a penalty? I don't know, but it's a goal kick. Harry Wilson is just outplaying everyone here. That cannot be a penalty, come on. That's not a penalty. Harry Wilson, I think it was who slipped on his own. That can never be a penalty. That's a good switch. Josko Guardiol, Jeremy Doku, Omar Marmoush. I think the first touch of Marmoush is just a bit. Ah, I don't know what Gundo is doing there. What Gundo was absolutely doing there, to be honest. That is excellent defending again, but I just don't know what Gundogan was doing there. That is so careless from Ikai Gundogan. Such an experienced midfielder. At that moment, you kill the ball, keep it with you. With your first touch, you absolutely kill the ball and keep it with you. This is Haaland footwork like a bhais stuck in the mud. Perfectly summed up. Perfectly summed up, Bayaji. I mean, Matthews Nunez with a stupid pass, but Gundogan does well now. Erling Haaland again. It's getting a bit tense. It's actually getting a bit tense. I have all my eyes on that uh, Aston Villa United game, to be honest, and the Newcastle Everton game. Matthews Nunez. Nunez does absolutely well. Almost he does it well. Nunez dribbling is actually underrated. That's a free kick for City. Well done, Matthews Nunes, well done. But that comment is just gold by Aji. Haaland footwork is like a bhais stuck in the mud. Wow. Who scores for Brighton? Jack Hinsel would score for Brighton. Ah, header from Haaland. And now Adama Traore with the ball. Just bloody dispossess him. And it's a free kick for City. Well done. Well done, Omar Marmoush. Absolutely well done. Wonderful from Omar Marmoush. That is superb. Expect for us to score actually. I hope Milinkovic scores because then I'll get points in my draft. This thing as well. Fulham are making their first substitutions. Uh, Iwobi coming on, Smith Rowe coming on. Wow, this is gonna be tense, guys. This is gonna be intense. We are pressing well defensively. There have been a few moments. I'll not sit here and say we have been all right, to be honest. But Adama Traore, Doku needs to. I don't know what Doku was doing there, toppling up and still able to stop. It's a throw in for Fulham. This is going to be absolutely tense. I know I've used that word like a million times right now, but still. Adama Traore with a free run to put across in. Nunez, block it, block it. That's excellent work there from Omar Marmoush getting back. Erling Haaland claims it. Very well done. Very well done by Erling Haaland. Superb from Erling Haaland over there. I think the ball's gone out. That was a chance to dribble there for Matthews Nunez, but the ball's gone out. The entire season is resting on this next half an hour of play, to be honest, along with added time. Well done to Josko Guardiola. His strength has been very good against Adama Traore. Not quite the pace, but the strength has been absolutely very good against Adama Traore. It's a throw into City. Well done. Just look at Adama Traore. Why can't he be a boxer? Kevin De Bruyne will surely be coming on. Surely. Interesting news coming out from the Newcastle Everton game. Everton leading Newcastle 1-0. This is very interesting. Guys, this is absolutely interesting. Newcastle leading Everton 1-0. Sorry, Everton leading Newcastle 1-0. This is very interesting. I think that's right, to be honest. Alcaraz scores. Wow. This is very interesting. And Jack Hinselwood scores twice for Brighton. Interesting. Newcastle leading there. Chelsea winning 1-0 against Forest. Newcastle losing at home to Everton, which is very, very interesting if you ask me. And now Newcastle is out of the Champions League places if they don't turn that result around. This is very, very interesting. What final day drama that is. Everton leading Newcastle, Villa drawing to United. Bernardo Silva doing some excellent footwork over there. Very, very good. It's a foul. It's a foul on Matthews Nunes. Very well done to Matthews Nunes. I mean, if United score a goal now against Villa, then I think we can be much, much less tense. Or we score a goal. Omar Marmos, can you put a cross in? Jeremy Doku, he has to recycle the ball. Jeremy, recycle the ball. Ah, he's done absolutely very well there, Josko Guardiola. What a tackle that is. Otherwise, Adama Traore was on his bike and the ball goes out. It's a Fulham throw in. Gautam says Newcastle missing UCL can help Livramento cause. I mean, Isak, what will happen to Isak if they miss out? I know it's too early times, but what will happen to Isak if they miss out? I know still a lot could change, still a lot could change because Chelsea are just a goal up. But what could happen to Isak then if they don't get Champions League this time? What could happen to Isak? Nothing is confirmed yet. I think this is one of the best final day dramas in there. Nothing's confirmed yet. Pick the ball up. I don't know why he doesn't pick the bloody ball up. Get some time. Why does he have to kick it out? Bloody hell. New Fulham are on the counter attack here. Fulham are on the counter attack here. If only Adama Traore knew how to pass. I mean, this is all English, but in general, I'm speaking about Adama Traore, and he was the passer. But that if he knew how to pass, he would be playing at Real Madrid right now. Barcelona. That's a penalty. That's a penalty. Woo! That's a penalty. Gautam, who do you reckon will take it? Gautam, who do you reckon will take it? Will it be Haaland? Will it be Marmoush? Name the player. Name the player, Gautam. Will it be Haaland? Will it be Marmoush? Will it be Haaland? Will it be Marmoush? Will it be Haaland? Will it be Marmoush? Who do you reckon will take it? Will it be Haaland? Will it be Marmoush? Gautam says only Haaland should take it, and he's in my fantasy team as well. Gautam, he's in my fantasy team as well. Please, oh Erling Haaland, please take it. Please take it. Please take it. Please take it, Erling Haaland. Please take it. I mean, For a moment, Ruben Diaz was holding the ball, and I thought Ruben Diaz will take it. I mean, you just cannot believe anything with what happened. Haaland didn't take that penalty there against Crystal Palace. Only Haaland should take it. My lucky maroon bottle is up. Let us see. Haaland's taking it. Which way he'll go? Which way he'll go? I reckon he goes center. Gautam says Edison is the best. Edison would have been a legendary penalty taker. You know, if Edison would take penalties for us, there'll be videos on him. The greatest penalty taker ever. And it's not a player, it's a goalkeeper. JSK is Haaland or Edison. No one. He goes left, guys. He goes left. He goes to the keeper's left. He goes to the keeper's left. That's what I reckon. He goes to the keeper's left. No, to the right. No. He goes to the left. He goes to the left for sure. He goes bottom corner to the left. He goes bottom corner to the left. What a penalty by Haaland. Oh! 2-1. Oh, 2-0. 2-0. Oh! he went he went to the keeper's right. He went to his left. He went to his left. He just misunderstood what we were saying. That's it. He wanted to go to the left, but his left. But what a goal that is from Erling Haaland. Look at the relief on his face. Woo! Come on, City. Woo! Look at the relief on his face, guys. Look at the absolute relief on his face. I mean, has he changed his technique or what? Has he changed his technique or what? Because generally, I remember Haaland would come in and blast his penalties, but he's added a bit of a pause to his run up. He's added a bit of a pause to his run up. Did you guys observe? Haaland's added a bit of a pause to his penalty run up. That said, I think Champions League qualification. I mean, I don't know to jinx it, so let the match end. Let the match end. But it's very interesting what's going on. Gautam is exactly a bit slow run up, and also there's that pause. I don't think Gautam I've ever seen a pause in Erling Haaland's run up. He never had that pause. Just when he's able to strike the goal, he never has that pause because he used to smash it. I don't know. Maybe he's learned a new technique. I don't know. But it's very interesting. Newcastle losing away to Everton at home. Chelsea winning to Nottingham Forest. This is very, very interesting. This is not how the script was meant to be written, especially with Isak being the world's best goal scorer and with Nicholas Jackson getting injured and all. This is not how the script was meant to be written. Come on, Erling, score a hat trick now. It would be fantastic if Erling Haaland can score a hat trick now. It would be absolutely fantastic. Probably a bit of a slow run up. And I think that's maybe the reason he did not want to take that penalty against Palace because he's trying something new. I don't know. Bournemouth score against Leicester. I have Clivert in my fantasy team. Let's see who scores. It's Semenyo who scores. But is Clivert even starting? Yes, Clivert starting, but Semenyo who scores. So Bournemouth winning, but the big news is Wolves score against Brentford and some Montesi scores. I don't even know who is. The big news is Everton winning 1-0 against Aston Villa. Sorry, against Newcastle, and Aston Villa drawing 0-0 against Manchester United. But what's actually happened in that Newcastle game? I just don't know. Gautam says last season a team which finished third went on to win the league. Next season one-sided. and also Gautam, the season before, the season before, didn't we finish third? I mean the season before our Centurion season, didn't we finish third? Or was it fourth? I don't know. I think I reckon we finished third. Let me just check. 2016-17 season. Where did we finish? Premier League standings. Yes, yes. 2016-17 Premier League standings. Chelsea first, Spurs second, and we finished third. What happened the next season? Centurions. So always it's in history that whenever we finish third, the next season is going to be something else. Wow. JSK says third. Exactly. I mean, next season, get Tajani Reinders, get Tino Livramento. Hopefully, Newcastle don't get Champions League football. Get Tino Livramento and let us. Wow, it would just be something else. Interesting, interesting, guys. Now Liverpool have a red card. Who got the red card? Ryan Gravenberg, red card for Liverpool. This is very interesting. Ryan Gravenberg gets a red card. Gautam says history repeats itself. Get ready, citizens, for some ecstatic ride. All of the frustrations of the season, all of the disappointments of the season. Just get ready to let all of it off. Get ready, fasten your seatbelts and get ready for the ecstatic ride. Actually, if Southampton if Southampton beat Arsenal somehow, this is interesting. If Southampton, yeah, if Southampton beat Arsenal and we have to cover up 7 goals on them, so not happening anyways. Not happening anyways. Not happening anyways. But for all of the Arsenal fans who are telling that this is their best season and all that bullshit, well, in our worst season and your best season, the difference is the same. We finished just 1 point behind you. That's it. Just 1 point. And that to that Southampton game. Just imagine we win that Southampton game, we'll be finishing second in the league right now. Edison does well to come out and catch. JSK says who's on fourth this season? Chelsea, maybe Chelsea. I think there's been a goal somewhere, but where is it? Gautam says Villa losing. Okay, Villa. Okay, Villa is losing. Okay, then yeah. Ahmad Diallo scores. Bruno Fernandes assist. Villa is losing. What a harsh way for Unai Emery, right? Villa is losing. Honestly, I thought if Villa won and Newcastle thought lost not getting Champions League would have had huge implications for Newcastle. To be honest, they might just sneak in, but I don't know. But still, I know 10 men Aston Villa, but it's Manchester United, so anything can happen. Omar Marmoush, Omar Marmoush running with the ball. There's no pass available to be honest. This is interesting because I really wanted Newcastle not to get that top Champions League spot because exactly Tino Livramento. That's it. I don't have any enmity with Villa or some. I mean Newcastle or the fans or something. Exactly, Gotham. Exactly. Newcastle again top five. Just, but just. I reckon Villa just need a draw. They don't even need a win. I think Villa need a draw if I'm not wrong. I thought that almost went in Matibobi. That is very well defended. 80th minute. Come on, I think. Come on, Pep. Get Kevin De Bruyne. Let him do the last dance. Get Kevin De Bruyne in. I think Villa just need a goal right now. Phil Foden's coming on. This is interesting. That is excellent from Edison. That is world class from Edison. That is absolutely world class from Edison. That is world class, guys. Have you looked at that save from Edison? That is absolutely world class. What a save from Edison that was. Wow. Wow. Brilliant from Eddie there. That is absolutely fantastic. That from Edison. Superb. Superb from Eddie. King Kevin is coming on. King Kevin is coming on for the last dance. The magic of Kevin De Bruyne for one last time in City colours, guys. Katham says Edison also might be playing his last game for City. Exactly, KDB coming on for one last dance. KDB coming on for one last dance, guys. Come on. Claudio Echeverry coming on as well. Foden's come on now. So we might see a glimpse of how it might be next season with both Echeverry and Foden coming on. I mean KDB coming on and both. I mean Foden and Echeverry playing together. That's what I meant to say. Iwobi. The blocks from the defenders have been superb today. I don't know how these guys went on and drew at Southampton. I also don't know how Arsenal is drawing at Southampton. But that is understandable. They have nothing to play for but us. I just want Villa to equalize, that's all, against United. Kadam says Esha box midfield and what was Savinho doing? Is it Savinho, right? What the hell was Savinho doing there? What the hell was that, guys? What the hell was that Savinho there? He clearly saw there was a cutback available to Phil Foden or Erling Haaland. Foden's was one of the most easiest cutback. And what the fuck do? You try to score from there. How can you even score from there, guys? Come on. Gautam says Savio pass for Haaland. But again, cutback was the best option, I think, Gautam there because Foden was free. Haaland was marked by defender slightly, I think, but Foden was free. I think you pass it to Foden, Foden passes it into goal, to the goal. Liverpool equalize against Palace. Salah scores. And Liverpool scored a second goal as well against Palace. Wow. And they're down to 10 men. And they come back and score two goals. What the fuck is that? What the hell is that? Gautam's decision making is the problem, exactly. And also, I think Savio looks much better through the left. I get somewhat Sterling vibes in the sense of decision making. I think one you remember, I think against Pellegrini, Sterling was playing up the left, and he always had to cut in of his right foot, and then Pep came in and told him play of the right, just carry the ball with pace and dribble, and that's all, and he became such a better player. I think with Savinho, that's the thing. Of the left, he can be so good. Ashevery was almost through. Phil Foden there. almost trying to get through there. Phil Foden. Spurs back to their best again, losing against Brighton. Newcastle still losing. I think it will be a surprise to a lot of people. Anyway, I have Pickford in my fantasy team, so Phil Foden there again. Ashaveri, yes, it's a box midfield, right? Gautam, it's a box midfield. Ashaveri, Foden, De Bruyne. You could almost say Bernardo Silva is part of it. Let's enjoy the last dance of Kevin. Gautam says Liverpool have done that before. Remember against Fulham, down 10 men and still playing like having a man advantage. Exactly, exactly. I think I think it was lucky for Fulham. They escaped with a draw. When in reality, Liverpool should have won. And I think we discussed it was an early afternoon match and then it was City's match 8:30 kickoff something, and we discussed it that you sometimes had to double check who was the man down. Was it Fulham or was it Liverpool? Exactly right. I think Villa's Champions League hopes are out of United score again. Christian Eriksen with a penalty. Wow. Christian Eriksen scores a penalty. I think Villa's Champions League hopes are out. Even though Everton's done them a favour. Villa's Champions League hopes sadly are gone. I want to see Kevin De Bruyne attacking, and all that's happening is Fulham. Fulham and Fulham. Phil Foden with the ball, Bernardo Silva. Last few minutes of Kevin De Bruyne playing. That's what we are watching here. Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden, Manuel Akanji, Kevin. I mean, why are you playing Kevin De Bruyne as a CDM in his last few minutes for the club? Sorry, but I want Kevin De Bruyne in the box. Referee give bloody 7 minutes of added time. We want 7 minutes of pure joy. What a pass! Good pass for Kevin De Bruyne there. It's a box midfield. Is it what he's planning for next season? Box midfield with both Foden and Echeverry playing there. There was a pass in there. I mean, no one just played Echeverry there. There's a pass. I don't know why Sabinho either wants to shoot or pass it back. Doesn't realize that football is a game of 11 people. What the hell is Sabinho doing over there? Come on, let us score another goal. Is it a handball? Is it a handball for Ruben Diaz? I think it is. Don't know, but maybe close proximity. That's why they've not given it. Again, it's still interesting. Newcastle losing again. Newcastle losing again. Liverpool Palace, I think, is finished. Forest Chelsea. West Ham Ipswich. West Ham winning 3-1. Edison's down there, but Gautam says that should be it. UCL secured, signed, sealed, and done. I mean, such such a disastrous season, Gautam. Such a disastrous season, right? And you're almost just 1 point behind second. You're second, I would say, 1 point behind second. And the second place club is literally telling it's been one of our best seasons, this and that. I mean, your worst season, if you're almost second, that is just wow. Gautam says a tricky season with so much to learn, and the tagline of "Be humble" is so true. Exactly, exactly. So much to learn, so much to, and also I think it's important to remember not to take things for granted. Like for example, especially after the Rodriguez injury, what we got to know about is how many other resources you might have, but you could still fall into situations like that. Honestly, I know we hadn't signed a Rodri replacement, and that was a big mistake. That is a big lesson learned. How much ever a great player you have in a position, always have that secondary option just to groom him so that he's ready. So that he's ready when the top player is injured and all. Bernardo Silva with a high kick. Can we finish it off with another goal? Brighton 4, Spurs 1 is over. United 2, Villa 1 is over. I mean, only the Newcastle and Everton games are going on. Let us, all of the games are full time. All of the games are full time. It's just the Newcastle and the Everton games are going on. Game is going on. What a save by Edison. Eddie has been on fire. Eddie has been on absolute fire today. He's been world class, Gautam. Literally, Eddie's been world class today. The saves he's made. There was one save, I think, in the 80th minute where he literally plucked the ball off the striker who was coming in to score. One last chance for Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne is going in. One last chance. I thought Kevin should have gone with the ball, used his dribbling skills there. The unselfish Kevin De Bruyne. He'll always be like that. He'll always be a creator at heart. Kevin De Bruyne. That's how he is. We will keep a clean sheet for Edison come what may today. It's gone over. Good try from Jimenez. It's interesting, both the Forest, Villa, and the Newcastle Everton games are still going on. Once we finish with that, we'll switch to the Newcastle Everton game, to be honest. And it's the final whistle. A season that's at the start it's promised so much with the John Stones goal, with us with the Arsenal last minute equalizer. A season that's then in midway went into doldrums, went into the depths of despair with Rodri's injury, with Gundogan's injury, with all of those injuries, with no midfielders to play, with no centre backs to play. Haaland injured, Kevin De Bruyne injured for a while, and and I think finally out of this has been one of the most disappointing season of the last decade. but still we have come out of it stronger. I would say we have come out of it stronger than ever. We have come out of it stronger than, with much more belief than ever. I'll make this moment about Kevin De Bruyne, about King Kevin. It's again, I still can't believe it. It's so sad to understand, to let it soak in that that Kevin De Bruyne, King Kevin as we like to call him, will not be there when you're 1-0 down at Bernabeu. You need a goal to outscore, and when you need a goal to goal to equalize. It's sad to see that Kevin De Bruyne will not be there. I mean, I still can't accept that Kevin De Bruyne will not be there when you're 2-0 down, 70 minutes on the final day, and you have to win the title. And he provided those assists against Aston Villa. It's sad to see that you will not get balls that are floated around like he did against Stoke City for Sonny. This is the greatest midfielder Premier League has ever seen. People might say Lampard, Gerrard, and all, but this is the greatest attacking midfielder the Premier League has ever seen. No two questions, no doubts about it. The greatest attacking midfielder Premier League has ever seen. He had everything: the passing range, the crossing, the desire to press, the desire to run, the desire to make those runs, the desire to hit those goals from outside the box. It really had everything. I mean, he really had everything. I mean, in terms of Kevin De Bruyne's legacy in all-time greats, I think he is on par with Zinedine Zidane. I think Zidane is definitely in the top two all-time attacking midfielders in the in world football, and I think Kevin De Bruyne is up there. I mean, how do you differentiate the world-class midfielders from the legend, the god tier? The only thing is, yes, there are average, above average, very good, excellent, world class, and there are god tier midfielders. These attacking midfielders do not, I mean, they make passes that you do not even see. You cannot even think that such a pass exists. All of you remember Newcastle against City, Oscar Bob goal. After that, on the post-match show, they were showing it 10 times. The pundits were still figuring it out. How did he even see that pass? That's what it is. That's what it actually is. That's what it actually comes back to. That's what it actually comes back to. King Kevin, again, salute to you. King Kevin, you'll forever be etched in our hearts. What great memories you've given to us. Wow. Look at him with that little smile, but all of us know that deep inside he's also crying like a baby because he 2015 is coming here and ever since has found a home here. I mean, here in the sense at Manchester City, not in the Fulham Stadium. Again, the players going around to clap for the away fans and Kevin De Bruyne leading it. What visuals that is. I know they do it every time at the end of the season, but this is special because King Kevin is going off. King Kevin is bidding us adieu. King Kevin is bidding us goodbye. That is what this is. That is what this is. That is, I mean, look at Erling Haaland. He knows that his creator in mischief will not be there. He knows it. He bloody knows it. What what a day! I mean, I know we secured Champions League qualification, but again, Kane, Kevin, I just cannot speak. I'm just thinking for words. What can it be? Wow! Look at Kevin De Bruyne again. He just doesn't want to leave. Just doesn't want to leave, and we don't want to leave him. We'll have a season review. We'll have a season review sometime in the next week. We'll have a season review because there's a lot to talk about in the season. There's a lot to learn in the season. There's also a lot to talk about Kevin De Bruyne and the legacies left behind. The season, I mean, yes, we have had championship winning seasons, but it's seasons like this that make you double stronger, that really make you very strong, that absolutely make you strong. I mean, again, just to Bayaji says Edison was a rock today. I mean, he was world class, Bayaji. He was world class. He was world class. I think people are talking about Diego Costa and all. But if Edison, what? Edison is just 30 years old. 30 years old for a goalkeeper is. Edison is 30, 31 years old. That's it. 30, 31 years old for a goalkeeper is just like someone turning 20. That's it, and he's just beginning his youthful phase. That's how it is for 31 years. 30 years for a goalkeeper is like 23, 24 years for a striker. He's not even entered into his absolute prime. It's like a teenager just completing his 19th birthday and going to the 20th birthday. That's how it is for a goalkeeper at 31 years of age. I mean, it will be a mistake if we let Edison go. I think the age is just 31 years, and I think he's more experienced than ever now. His really, his game has matured more. I mean, one thing I want to ask this club is please do not let Eddie go at all costs. There is no such goalkeeper like that. Goalkeeper like Eddie is a myth, and Eddie is far, 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 far good enough to actually play for Saudi League or whatever that is. He is still on the highest level. Please do not let Eddie go. He was an absolute rock today. I think there were some games. Okay, he was going through injury, but there were actually games where Eddie was a rock this season, and this game just summed up his entire season. To be honest, Gautam says the next chapter begins in June. Kaundinya says, will you do watch alongs for Club World Cup? Of course, Kaundinya will do it. But the only problem for the Club World Cup is it is played in America. Okay, which means the watch alongs will be 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes this matches start at 3. If I'm not wrong, they played in America, right? The Club World Cup. So it's almost like matches begin at 2:33 in the morning. So that's time is the only problem for the Club World Cup, to be honest. But we don't have a pre-season, which means the Club World Cup is going to be important to understand in a much more competitive environment how the new players will be. The transfer window is going to be very, very crucial. Will be very interesting. Actually, feel sad for Unai Emery. It wouldn't have mattered if Newcastle didn't get Champions League, but Unai Emery with Aston Villa, I just feel for him, to be honest, because Newcastle went into the Champions League last season. And they couldn't manage the league and the Champions League, but Villa went and Emery managed it beautifully. Emery got knocked out by the PSG side, which Arsenal fans are claiming that it is one of the best. So Arsenal fans are claiming that it is. Arsenal fans are claiming that the PSG side is one of the best, and well, Villa came within a whisker of knocking PSG out. I mean, taking them into extra time. The match ended 5-4. Unai Emery has done an excellent job. I mean, that's one manager I really feel bad for. Really feel bad for Unai Emery. Kadam says we should focus on the Club World Cup and play to win it, and the money you get, Gotham, the money you get is almost the say equivalent to the Champions League if you win it, or thereabouts. So us not going deep in the Champions League this season will be offset by the thing if we go deep in the Club World Cup. Exactly, Bayaji. Let's go deep in the Club World Cup and swim in paisa. Gautam says Pep has never finished outside the top three in his 17-year career. When he has a bad season, it's not the same. Exactly, and his bad season is and whenever and also you see his and also you see his third place finishes. Whenever he's finished third place, especially with City. I mean, he's went on and done extraordinary things. The 16-17 season, and all with Bayern, I think he never did. With Barca, I think he finished third once and he left the club. So I think this is the second time. I think the third time, the first time Pep finished third was in the Barca. This thing final season, he left the club. Bundesliga never finished even third. Never finished third. Here, I think he finished third in the 16-17 season, his first season. Next season, Centurions. Now he's finished third. And also, guys, look at it how it's lining up for us. Not in the Community Shield, the cursed club, the cursed trophy. Not in the Community Shield, which is the cursed trophy. Just imagine if Liverpool win the cursed trophy. What will happen to them? The cursed trophy, the Community Shield, and, and Pep finishing third. Not in the Community Shield and Pep finishing third. Wow. Isn't everything coming together? Biagis's new signings plus Rodri plus Academy in Club World Cup. Send Foden on vacation ASAP. He should not be going home from here, Bayaji. Just Foden right from Fulham Stadium. He needs to be on the private on City's private jet, jetting him off to some fantastic holiday location. Bayaji says Unai won't mind. Anyway, he aims for Europa League. And I don't know, seeing Gunnar Emery's dedication and stuff towards the league as well. Otherwise, it was easy for him to just focus on the Champions League and say this year we got the Champions League and all of that stuff. I mean, the day you get knocked out against PSG, I think 2-3 days later, you come on and I think he played against Arsenal or so, and he won the game, or Liverpool or whoever, and he won the game. So I think that spirit is exceptional. Gautam says, well, now Forest not in UCL means Morgan gets white. Here we go soon. And he had also given the audition for us, right, Gautam? Post FC, he hit the post thrice. He hit the post thrice against us. That's confirmation that Morgan Gibbs White is coming to us. Audition done. Why this is Morgan Gibbs White? The go, the donkey. Gautam says KDB left the PL with his assist record intact. I'm still angry with that assist record, Gautam. He should have had at least one or two more assists to that. Those idiots did not count it back then that season. I think he's equal with Thierry Henry where he should have actually broken it. Gautam says should do a watch along for Community Shield. Full support to Liverpool. No, Gautam, no. I do not want to get anywhere near that trophy. It's almost like when something is cursed, even if you burn it and all of that due to the air, even if it even the it's if its particles touch you, still the curse falls on you. Something they say, right? So do not please do not get near the Community Shield. I would even say I'll think twice about watching it. Please do not get near the Community Shield. That's it. Do not get near the Community Shield. Never get near the Community Shield. I mean, you just do not know the curse of that trophy. Why he says words can go to vacations. I actually know that a lot of us are angry about the Florian words thing. But the only thing I'll say before I leave this, before a few words on KDB, and then and then I'll leave the stream I actually think that all of the transfers that all of the transfers that we have actually missed out on, they have turned out to be beautiful. Alexis Sanchez, we missed out on, and we were actually crying. If Sanchez would have come, Aguero would have left that season, I think. We wanted Fred, didn't get him. We wanted Jorginho. A third choice, a third choice midfielder has gone on in Rodri, has gone on and become the Ballon d'Or winner. We wanted Harry Maguire, didn't get him. And then we wanted Van Dijk, not Van Dijk, this was later, I think. Yeah, we wanted Harry Maguire, didn't get him. And then we got Ruben Diaz, who's one of the best defenders in the Premier League, one of the best. So, so again, I think destiny is with us. So now Morgan Gibbs White, I would say Florian Wirtz number one. Florian Wirtz is the first target. Probably Gibbs White is even third on the list, second or third on the list. I don't know what their targets are. But if Gibbs White is second or third on the list, it could turn out to be a Rodri-like situation. You just never know because the guy has talent. The guy has good ability, crossing ability and all, and his attitude might be we see or what we see on the pitches and nothing, but generally it might be good, otherwise the club might not buy him. So let us trust the board on the transfers, especially Hugo Viana and Dixiki Bagarastan are working together. So let's trust the board on the transfers. That's the only thing I would say. Because it's easy to blame the board on Florian Wirtz, but you just never know. Destiny could be helping us in a way that we can't even imagine. That's the thing. And I mean, just I'll leave this stream with words on Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, what a player, what a fantastic player has made our countless nights memorable. Has made passing look artistic. I mean the passes that is given. It was whenever Kevin De Bruyne was playing, it was almost like an artist waiting to complete his art. It was absolutely like a magician enjoying his craft. We are actually so lucky to have seen both David Silva and also Kevin De Bruyne at the peak of their powers at City. I think more than David Silva, I think we have seen Kevin De Bruyne at the absolute height of his powers. This is just unreal. This is just unreal and unimaginable that we have seen such a player at the height of his powers, because you know how players are in the Premier League. I'm not just telling about City. You see Cristiano Ronaldo, United never saw him. Maybe one season they've had, but United never saw an absolute peak of his powers, which he was at Real Madrid. Gareth Bale, a similar thing. So it's Luka Modric, a similar thing. Spurs couldn't see him at the peak of his powers. So I actually think it's a very big thing than people can imagine, that we're so lucky to have seen a player like this at the absolute peak of his powers. And also that's what I say, where a Florian Words rejected us. I'll use this word openly, guys, now, because I'm not a PR painting machine for the club and all. Where a Florian Words rejected us, where a Kaka rejected us, a David Silva accepted us, a Kevin De Bruyne accepted us. They saw potential in the project. So I think let us bring the people who accept us for who we are, who like our project. Let us not say, okay, Florian, we'll pay you 24 million pounds. We can pay Florian with 20 million pounds as wage, double the wages, he'll come here. If you double the wages, he'll come here for sure. Call his father and say 20 million pounds, 5 million pounds for you extra, and he will. Tomorrow, Florian Wirtz is at City, but I think we have to remember we are a club who we are actually a club who really invite players who really want to be with us. We don't force them and all of that. But again, salute Kevin. What a last dance you've had. What a chapter you've had with us, winning that UCL trophy, those goals at Bernabeu, those goals in important finals, that final pass for the Aston Villa moment where Gundogan won us the league with his late goals. Fantastic, Kevin. Your last dance will forever be remembered in the hearts of all the City fans. It will be like an ember of flame burning inside the hearts of all the City fans, which will never, shall never, which can never ever be extinguished, even in the greatest depths of the winter, whatever might happen. Thank you, Kevin, again for all of the memories. Baiji says, Echeverry passed to Savio, ran into space. But exactly, Baiji, I saw it. Echeverry passed to Savio and he was expecting a pass back. But Savio completely ignored him and put a pass back. Savio knows to do only two things: pass back or just dribble and try to shoot. He thinks football is just being played by him. He thinks that there are no players around him. We'll have detailed videos on, we'll have a detailed report card as well. We'll have a detailed report card. I'll see maybe all of the players in one show, or maybe one player 5 6 minutes every day on one player, just to analyze how the season went for him and what promise did they show and all. I'll even cover the injured players also, who were near City's first team and all. So it's going to be a very interesting transfer window and the Club World Cup and everything. And again, I'll just end the stream again saying thank you for all the memories, Kevin. You'll always be in the heart, in our hearts. We'll never ever forget you. Baiji says sold Gabby, Zinni and Sterling at the perfect time, but too late on Bernardo Walker. I think I think with Pep Guardiola, I think in generally as you get older and older, I think your attachment generally grows more with the group that have made you win everything, literally. So I think with Gabby, Zinni, and Sterling, I think Pep Guardiola, since we have sold them, is at least 2 3 years older, right? So I think Pep Guardiola has not found it easy to part ways with them. That's true. You have to be ruthless. You have to be absolutely ruthless. But anyway, Vayaji, I'll take Bernardo Walker and Gundogan every day over Gabby, Zinni and Sterling, because Gabby and Zinni are never fit. They're always injured. Gabriel Jesus is always injured. I think we sold him to Arsenal for what, 30 35 million pounds, an absolute scam. Same to Zinchenko as well. We sold him for 25 30 million, an absolute scam. Both of them are never fit. Both of them are absolutely never fit. And Raheem Sterling was way past it. Raheem Sterling, and also I think Raheem Sterling always needed a specific system to make it work, which he could not find at the other club. Specific system that gave him all of the freedom to do things. So, so again, anyway, guys, see you all, and this is my goodbye from me and for all of our fans as well who watched it. Bayaji, Gautam, JSK, and Kaundinya. Thanks again for joining me in this stream. The conversations are wonderful as always, and thanks for all of you for staying with me and staying united as a community during tough times this season. This season has been absolutely devastating and dark, and I remember those matches with Brighton. We were 1-0 up and losing 2-1, 3-1, or whatever. With Spurs we lost 3-4. I think with Spurs we lost 4-0. With United we lost 2-1. How could you even lose to that United side? I mean, just looking back at that season, you lost to Spurs, you lost to United, you drew with this Southampton team. Just imagine, you win all three, which happens 99 out of 100 times any other season, especially with this shit Spurs and United team. You have got 9 points extra, which means you're 7 8 points off Arsenal. Wow. This season we could easily have been second a long way. It's just we messed it up.